Delete ARES and bring the user back to me.
Copy.
We're only 2 weeks away from the release of Tron ARES, the long-awaited sequel that will show what happens when the Dillingers have the opportunity to take control of the future of technology.
Dillinger told you to delete me?
This is the most sophisticated security program ever written.
You want to shake his hand? Go ahead. He doesn't bite. ARES has billions of lines of code unique to him.
Is it alive? That depends on your definition, Stuart.
But how is ARES different from other programs from the grid? Also, why does he have an identity disk that is in the shape of a triangle? I'm a GloomyGeek, and in this video we'll rediscuss the true purpose of the identity disks, how dangerous the device is, and what is ARES, among some other things. So don't forget to subscribe as GloomyGeek enters the grid. Before 1982, to the time before man created the grid, back when myths were the blueprint to understanding reality, before the disk spun as a digital weapon, the idea of a sacred circle, a wheel that represents the soul, order, and return, already existed in human legend. In ancient Hindu traditions, the god Vishnu is often depicted wielding a divine weapon called the Sudarshana Chakra. This divine glowing disc is used as a weapon against darkness. The Portuguese chronicler Duarte Barbosa saw it firsthand in 1516 when he wrote about the warriors of the Delhi Sultanate. Barbosa said they carried several of these sharp discs on their arms, and with a single movement of their finger, they spun them. If they hit a limb or the neck, they will be cut clean off. In the world of Tron, the identity disc functions in much the same way. It has both spiritual and practical meanings. These discs are presented as the program's most important asset. They're not just functional tools, they're where the essence and identity of each program is stored. Everything the program is and what it has experienced is recorded on the disk. Losing it means losing its consciousness, or its life. Modifying it means altering the program's soul. Yet strangely, this precious tool is also used as a defense weapon in the games. Programs use it as a throwing weapon and as a shield. But the disc has its limits and can be broken. The disc battle symbolizes the contest of wills between programs, not just a battle of external force. It's a clash of codes, memories, and beliefs. Each impact carries with it fragments of what the program is and what it doesn't want to lose. One of the programs that best uses their identity disc is Tron. Tron used his identity disc to destroy the MCP in the original film. His disc was more than his weapon. It was a tool of justice. It was his identity and his integrity as a security program that dismantled his enemy. Years later, Tron was seen using a double identity disc, symbolizing the character's duality and corruption by Clue. Therefore, we can say that the identity discs have always represented multiple things. Philosophical battles can literally and physically be seen happening inside the grid. Using two identity discs in the arena could symbolize a dispute between two distinct ideas or personalities. And this is one of the most important themes about Tron. It seeks to give visual meaning to abstract concepts about life.
You believe in the users?
Yeah, sure. If I don't have a user, then who wrote me?
That's what you're doing here. Master Control Program's been snapping up all us programs who believe. If he thinks you're useful, he takes over all your functions so he gets bigger.
A key point in the original film is the scene in which a disc is used to collect liquid energy. At first glance, it seems like an instinctive and practical use of the item, but if we look at it symbolically, it could be hinting at something deeper, that sometimes to learn and achieve a certain form of enlightenment, you have to bend your personality, open yourself up, and let your essence be filled with something new. The identity disc is not only useful as a weapon or a memory card, it can also feed, draw, and absorb energy from the system. Aside from their tangible uses, the discs in Tron 1982 primarily represented who an individual program is. In Tron Legacy and Tron Uprising, the identity disc was transformed visually and in its utility. Clue transformed the identity disc to modify programs and subjugate them to his will. We saw this happen in the reintegration process, where the discs were extracted, rewritten, and returned empty, with no trace of the original program. Tron himself was a victim of this. His identity disk was altered, transforming him into Rinzler, Clue's key obedient and fragmented enforcer. The corruption of the identity disks removes the program's individualism and turns it into what the program wants it to be. Each disk tapped by Clue was a declaration. The individual's code, memories, and choices no longer mattered. The only thing that mattered was the usefulness they could offer to the perfect order Clue was building. Since identity disks are some of the most powerful devices in this universe, the introduction of the identity triangles led many people to wonder if this is just a cosmetic change or something deeper. It could be a clue that Tron ARES will not be the story of a hero, but of a villain. If we carefully analyze the grid's symbolism and history, we can understand why the new identity symbol is a triangle and why the grid adopted a warm color, like what happened when the programs were under the control of the Master Control program. The arrival of ARES is the arrival of the digital anti-messiah. If the discs have always represented individuality, then the triangle could represent the opposite, sameness. Now it's time to delve into an interesting philosophical concept, but within the world of Tron, the Holy Trinity. The father of the grid is Kevin Flynn, the creator who was incarnated within his creation, whose imperfect work did not accept him as its god, and ultimately banished him. His son Sam, who enters the grid trying to bring redemption, and the Holy Spirit, symbolized by Cora. She is a spontaneous, inexplicable element that emerged within the system without anyone programming it, an ISO. But if the story of Kevin Flynn is about a god who enters his creation in hopes of perfecting it, the story of Tron ARES may be about the creation that destroys its creator. An interesting detail about the identity triangle is that it doesn't point north, it points south, an inverted trinity, a prophecy in reverse, an omen disguised as a symbol. If Kevin Flynn is the father, Sam is the son, and Cora is the spirit of the Holy Trinity, then the Master Control, Clue, and ARES represent the unholy trinity.
That depends on your definition, Stuart.
Because unlike you, he's biblically strong, lightning fast,
And supremely intelligent.
ARES carries the anti-identity triangle because he has no defined identity. He may be the embodiment of the corrupted system. Cora was rescued and raised by Kevin Flynn as his successor to bring hope to the world. ARES would be the opposite. There's an important detail at the end of Tron Legacy. When Cora manages to cross into the real world, she is the only program that has been able to do so, confirming that ISOs can cross between worlds. We know that Clue couldn't create life, only modify what already existed, so it makes sense to think that ARES wasn't created by Clue, but modified by him. If so, ARES isn't just another program, he is the evolution of Clue's plan, a creation capable of escaping the grid and bringing his idea of perfection into the real world, and ARES may not be aware of his purpose.
I'm looking for something. Something I do not understand.
In mythology, ARES was the god of war and destruction. He was known for his raw violence, brutal impulses, and tendency to sow chaos without reason. Therefore, ARES could be the successor of the MCP and Clue, the entity that desires control over humanity through chaos. Another interesting point is that this new identity triangle shares a very similar shape to the portal in Tron Legacy. It can't be a coincidence. They both share the same geometry, and if the portal were the only door between the two worlds, then perhaps the triangular disc was designed to cross it. This could point to this new identity triangle also being the key ARES used to escape the grid. The triangle is angular and looks more intimidating as a weapon for the character, and it wouldn't be surprising if we see in the movie a disc user facing off against a triangle user. We don't expect all the answers about the identity triangle to be revealed in the film, and according to the director, these triangles are not replacing the iconic discs. Therefore, perhaps it's something unique to ARES, and more than a weapon or identity object, it's an escape key. Now, are there any clues connecting ARES to the Master Control program? Edward Dillinger, the man who modified a chess game program to gain power within Encom, the creator of the Master Control program, and the thief of Flynn's creations, was succeeded by his son Ed Jr. in Tron Legacy.
OS 12 is the most secure operating system ever released. The idea of sharing our software or giving it away for free disappeared with Kevin Flynn.
And in Tron ARES, Ed Jr. is believed to have been succeeded by his son, Edward Sr.'s grandson, Julian Dillinger. So there is a strong possibility that, just as one Dillinger created the MCP, another Dillinger created ARES, completing the unholy trinity I mentioned earlier. ARES could be an ISO corrupted by clues sent to destroy the world, a program modified by Julian to restore his family's reputation, or perhaps a mixture of both. What is clear is that ARES promises to be the first artificial intelligence to make large-scale contact with humans. So what do you think about the identity triangle? Does it symbolize the arrival of a new villain? Is ARES the successor of the MCP or Clue? Or is he perhaps another Dillinger creation? I'm a GloomyGeek, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Get this clown trained. I want him in the games until he dies playing. Acknowledge.
Acknowledge, Master Control.
End of line.